So right now we are working on, I'm going to put in a jam here-ish of sorts, mainly so that way I can get a good seal right here on the door. So I got one piece here that I notched out. Apparently went a little bit big. That's okay. When I did it, I just scribed it from this side, but it is what it is. So put that in there. All right, so what we got going on here is I am trying to nail up this little bracket, or not bracket, I guess frame, to be able to put my insulation on eventually. What I'm using is God knows how old of nails, but they have given me nothing but trouble anyways. So I'm fighting it, trying to pull it out, using some leverage here. So I go ahead and try it again. And so this really just becomes a comedy of error. So if you just kind of watch along and see what happens here. So mess up another one, they bend. Another one, they bend. And another one bends. So it's really just frustrating, and it's one of those, like, I don't want to give up on it. I know I can hammer in nails, I always have, and these nails are just complete garbage. See, there went one. But they're hit and miss. So here we go. We're just going to go ahead and keep on trying. Why not? Might as well. Alright, solving this problem. 3.5 inch screws it is. So you'll see me go ahead and add our screws in. Those are the 3-inch ones, and then we'll go ahead and continue to struggle. So if you watch on, and we'll keep going. So I've marked the base for where my new 2x4 is going to go. So 2x4 frame here, 2x4 frame there, 2x4 up there. So that 2x4 is going to stick out, and we'll go from there. We're going to go ahead and use our oscillating tool and go ahead and cut this out. Those of you that have a keen eye, you'll notice that the line is not straight, it actually is bending down. It's just because this door wasn't trued up. I probably should have trued it up before I did this, but I didn't, and it really didn't make much of a difference. As we get going, I end up truing up the door a little bit with the hinges and getting it so that way we have an even gap, and you'll see that down the road here, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. It actually, in the end, it helped me a little bit. I guess it helps if you could actually see what I was doing over there, huh? Alright. Measuring from this 2x4, that's this line that I drew with that one, 67 3/8, but I'm going to go with 67.5. So that way I can always shave some off. I can shave some off of that board if I need to, which is fine. But right now I just want to get this cut, get these cut out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through. We're gonna get the doors squared up. Well, square. I don't know about square, but the side rail is gonna go up. So what I'm doing is I'm marking it with it level, so that way I'm building that frame level, and then it'll help try to keep that door where I want it to be. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is I'm going to go through that. I'm going to do that to that side, and check for fit from there, and just keep doing each side by itself, so that way I can make sure that this frame actually turns out pretty good. So now what you're going to do is you're going to see me do on the right side now of the door, or the left, depending on how you want to look at it, but from this view it's the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. High in sight. I think I did it a little weird, but I ended up working out for me. So we'll go ahead and go through and do a little bit of oscillating on this and get it all trimmed up and keep on moving forward. Now I'm putting in that bottom board at the bottom, going through. I'm going to try to make it so that way it stays there, so I can shut the door and then go ahead and screw into it from the outside. So what I'm doing is putting a placeholder screws, not into the board because I'd never be able to open the door, obviously. So it's actually behind the board, and it's holding it right where it's at. Kind of playing with it and seeing if that'll work. It didn't work. Well, it did work, but as you'll see is I ended up actually taking it off a few times, and the reason for that is, one, I couldn't get it level, which I don't know why I cared about that, because that didn't matter. What did matter was the fact that I didn't put the flooring in there to make sure. I did have a 1/8 inch spacer right there, but I didn't have the floor in, so that wasn't going to work. And you'll see me kind of catch up with that and realize that, and actually I will even explain it here shortly, I believe. But that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not going to have to redo this 15 times when I've already got the floor in and stuff, and then I'm cussing and screaming because the door is already pretty much finished, and now I got to pull everything apart. Flooring. Which it probably should make up, should probably put a 1/4 inch piece of plywood instead of 1/8 inch underneath it as well, to make up for padding, because I'm sure I'm going to put pad on. Might as well. Piece of 1/4 inch. Look at that. Basically, I'm trying to keep from having to do a 45 angle on here, or not even 45, like 10-degree angle, 15-degree angle. go for a walk. Let's take the other one with us. Okay, so before that bottom rail was hitting on the corners there. So what we're gonna end up doing, so I'll show you real quick. I've already got it, so I put that angle on there. And then when we go, so right past, no issues. The only issue right now is dragging on this floor pretty hardcore over here on this side. And I have a feeling that's because I still need to, once I get all this all nice and tight up here, like leveled out and tight and stuff, this all, the gap all kind of secured in the same gap fashion, we'll be good to go. So, so what I'm gonna end up doing is pulling those screws out of there. I want to make sure my gap is even everywhere when I put these screws in, and then that way my gap is roughly even. I want to pull this gap out just a little bit more, I think, and then I think we should be good. I may even be able to do that now. All right, picking back up. So the door, I framed the door, finished up the entrance to the door there. I put the lock on the door, so now finishing up the door. And there's the door and just a little bit more for the barrier, and then I'll be good to go. Helps if you have staples. Try that again. Holy cow, it worked. Amazing how that works, huh? Right, what do we buy? So basically I'm just going through, and I'm going to go through and put a bunch of staples in, just trying to keep it as good as possible. Obviously this doesn't make it fully watertight, and I'm not going through and stapling all and filling in all the staples like some people may think I should. It's a vapor barrier. It's not there to keep all the water out. It's there to keep the majority of the water out. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. So you'll go through, we'll go ahead and take care of this. And then I'll end up cutting it off the sides. I think I even explained that. I'm going to actually end up, once I wallboard this or plywood this, is I'll probably cut this and I'll probably silicone all these seams. It's just going to be easier than, and it'll look better. So probably do the same thing here, is paint it all. Silicone needs to be siliconed and go from there. Right now I just want to get this dried in, get it insulated in boards, so that way I can get my wine in here before I go on vacation. Probably like to see what I'm doing in here, huh? So I'm just finishing up the vaporware in here, just using my scrap, just trying to get it all put in and kind of going through. I end up making these really cool cuts for that AC unit, and down the road I just cut them out because they're in the way of the AC from being able to process air properly. So, which is fine, whatever. It is what it is. It's a learning experience. There's no actual problem with doing it. So, man, I keep saying and I hate people when they say all the time. It's annoying. So I'm gonna try to not do that anymore. Well, I'm done. That's as far as I'm gonna get. By no means is it perfect. No means is it actually gonna do what I want it to do, but it will get done. So something is better than nothing at this point in time. So I'm putting a nailer down into here. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going through, I'm just putting up nailers along these back walls because there's nothing to nail into on the 4x4s. Since this wasn't built like an actual building should have been built, this was a shed. So I got nailers up here, I've got nailers up front. That's all for the drywall. So once the drywall goes, so that way when I put the drywall up, I have something to screw into. Not nailing drywall, I am screwing that, but I'm calling them nailers because that's the common name for them. I just used a bunch of scrap that I had laying around, ripped it into 1x2, and called it good. I know I explained it in the video a little bit, but these nailers are all for drywall. These walls weren't traditional walls put up, so that's why we're having to do this. I will end up having to go back and putting in more and actually extending some of these out as we go. I didn't account for drywall thickness itself, so that doesn't help. I can't remember if I videotaped it or not because I was having my father-in-law help me, and I'm still trying not to videotape as much with family members in until they're used to it a little bit more, or until they're good with it. Not everybody is, and until people get more comfortable with it, then that's kind of where I'm at. So some of these videos are going to skip around just a little bit, but I will explain it through and we'll get there. I try to still take a little bit of video real quick about things, and you'll see that as we go. So stick with me and keep on watching this and let me know what you think. Hey, so just checking in. I haven't been really videotaping because my father-in-law is here, so I'm trying to keep him out of it. So here we are, floor's in. Putting up wallboard now. Got insulation behind it. So we're getting there. I'm hoping to be able to have the AC up and running tonight, so we'll see what happens. Just want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, or dislike it. That's fine too. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you.